Yo, I want to check out Foxsoul's latest video. HP inflation is just a complaint from a tourist because a video was brought to my attention where the Jane Doe boss ruined someone. Someone in the Gacha space in the Shiyu defense. That boss ran circles around them, and now it's all being fabricated as this is the worst Shiyu we have ever had in the entirety of Zenless Zone Zero's lifespan. So I want to get Foxsoul's perspective on it. Let's see what he's talking about. Oh no.
Before you say shit, remember who the real Foot Queen is.
What's up, proxies?
Okay.
I'm Foxsoul, and welcome to another video on the channel. Hope you enjoy.
Jesus. All right, hold on.
How's it going, Proxy, my man? Welcome to another topic of conversation here on the channel, and as you can tell, we're going to be talking about the big bad boogeyman that some communities who are not even involved with Zenless Zone Zero like to come in and talk about, which is HP inflation. And I cannot stress this enough, guys, that this topic, I have been playing Zenless for the last 3 months, and this topic keeps coming up with each new update to the Shiyu defense. I mean, I don't know how many people from out
every single Shiyu defense we have this conversation. Every single Shiyu defense we have this conversation. It's actually insane.
Side of community of Zenless Zone Zero keeps wanting to come in, act like experts, and explain that this is an issue within the game when the people who play the game on a regular basis can tell you that it's really not an issue. So again, here today, we're going to go through some information. We're going to discuss this all here together yet again, because as long as they keep wanting to call it out, I do feel it's best to try to go ahead and have this conversation for new people out there and try to explain to them on a level terms, on basically level ground here, just why this isn't an issue. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so getting into this part of the video is going to be mainly for new players who might be scared of the HP inflation talks that are happening, as well as this is going to be for the quote-unquote people outside of the community that like to come in and try to act like experts because they like to play ZZZ once a month pretty much and bash on it because, oh, it has HP inflation.
Or they don't play at all, and they just parrot what everyone else is saying without actually touching the game, which is cringe.
Let me explain here first and foremost that well before these last couple of updates, this last couple of months of me playing Zenless Zone Zero, HP inflation has been talked about and has been known for quite some time. I think since well before 1.4 update, back since last year. Okay, I can trace that on Reddit, I can trace that on Twitter, that there's been people who's talked about it for quite some time. But what some people who are outside the community is not able to go ahead and explain is that while HP inflation's in this game, it's not really a problem. Now, there is some channel.
Yeah, that's one thing I meant to actually start the video with. HP inflation does exist in Zenless Zone Zero. It 100% does exist. However, it is not a problem, right? The HP inflation does exist. No one's saying it doesn't exist or it's not happening, but is it a problem? No.
Channels out there that I will go ahead and I will recommend one in particular right now, which is OK Muzzy, that if you want to go into full detail about HP inflation and why it's not a problem, his channel, which is right here, go ahead, go look at it. He's got some great informational videos on it that will explain in more details, basically with numbers and percentages, and he's practically a teacher and he will go through every single aspect of why. For me, I'm going to give you the cliff notes to this. Number one, when everybody so far is pretty much that is an influencer, is try to use this critical node really as a way to express that there's HP inflation and it's a problem. So they use critical node 7 floor for their example. Now, here in the critical node, when it comes down to it, you have different key elements that the developers have given you, different tools to utilize to help you to combat the HP inflation that
I don't know if he's going to bring it up, but the Miasma itself is a tool. You pop that Miasma and you get a huge energy refresh, right? So if you like play around that, basically like expend everything right before you pop the Miasma and then get that energy back, you will clear significantly faster.
That is in this frontier. First and foremost, you have a buff, which is right here. And if we look at the buff and we read the buff real quick, you'll see agents crit damage will increase by 20%, anomaly proficiency will increase by 40 points after an agent with a support specialty uses their EX special attack or aftershock. The whole squad's attack increases by 20%, and their attribute anomaly.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. That is a Yuzaha shield buff. That is a Yuzaha shield buff, right? However, it says with support specialty, there are plenty supports in this game, right? Lucy is one of them that can take advantage of this. That is a free character that is given to everyone. I believe Lucy's given to everyone. So, I mean, what are we doing here?
Damage increases by 30% for 15 seconds, and repeated triggers will reset the duration. So we have buffs that if you are going to utilize your agents, you'll have a crit damage buff that's going to go into it with anomaly proficiency, and then agents which there are support specialists will also have the ability to make sure that the entire squad's attack is increased by 20%, along with their attribute anomaly damage being increased by 30%. And this will keep resetting every single time you're doing your rotation. So the 15 seconds is just there for show, to be honest. But the main reason why I would tell you that HP inflation is not an issue is because, again, as that is a tool, we have two other pieces of key information that is tools to you as a player. Number one, enemy weakness. This right here, the devs are telling you if you play physical agent, you know your DPS is a physical agent at least, or physical agents, you are going to be at an advantage by 20% reduction to where you're going to be doing more damage. Same thing over here on this side with enemy weakness of ether. Now, what's been said so far that I've heard is that, oh, ZZZ is now quote unquote pay to win. You need Yuzuha in order to clear Shiyu defense. Well, I'm not sure about you guys, but I think you can see that my record's a 1 minute and 16 seconds, a 1 minute and 59 seconds. And I don't think I see a Yuzuha anywhere in this team. Now, grant you, my lighter here is an M2. My Hugo is an M0. My Lycon is an M3. My Miyabi just became an M1 with signature, by the way. And I got an M2 Bernice and an M6 Lucy. Now, the more you play the game, the more you put into the game, you'll get dupes and stuff like this. But even then, I'm pretty sure that looking at it like this, I'm not in an advantage here. I'm playing an ice team. I'm not in an advantage here. I'm playing an ice and fire team right here. So
yeah, I ran mono ice on Jane myself. That just, I mean, if you just started, you can't expect to clear in game anytime soon. That's just how it is in any gacha. But if you're someone that started, let's say, 2 patches ago, no, if you started 2 patches ago, you probably have Yishuan. One thing I will add is planning your pulls is huge in gacha games. It is imperative in these predatory gacha games. You must plan your pulls. You cannot bitch about in-game if you're only pulling like waifu over like meta. You can't bitch about in-game. Like, we know how these gacha games work, right? There's so many buffs that are just going to be shilled to the on-banner character. ZZZ, in my opinion, does give you a way out over other gachas, but you definitely gotta like take care of your account, like 100%.
with those two being contributed to this, you can automatically go ahead and realize that we are not at an advantage, nor are we at a disadvantage. Guess where we're at? We're at neutral, meaning that we don't get no buff and we get no resistance. So there's this again. If you ever played a typical Japanese RPG or an RPG in general, you know, Pokemon's the best example. Water beats fire, fire beats grass. I mean, it's pretty much one of the base concepts.
Yeah, the thing about Pokemon though is it's like way more beneficial to use super effective typings, right? Way more beneficial. And then there's also like stab you have to take into effect, right? Same type attack bonus. So I mean, with enemy weakness physical versus Jane, it's just like 20, it's just like flat 20%, you know. So it is a little more imperative in Pokemon, just to be fair and play devil's advocate. But yeah, I do get the analogy.
That is there in Pokemon. Choose your starter Pokemon and go battle the other side that you're weak against. You do more damage. This is how you combat something like HP inflation, and this is what the tools that the devs are giving you. The moment that you would see that a physical-based team, let's say you're playing something like Jane Doe, Seth, and let's just say Lucy, and because your Jane Doe's physical, she is going to have an advantage against Dark Jane Doe here with the Miasma shield mechanic. Now, that's a whole total different argument here, because some people are saying that, you know, the Miasma shield mechanic itself in general is also a problem, that, oh, that's what's increasing the HP inflation issues here with shield defense. But let's go take a look at the information about Miasma shield mechanics. So let's go to the proxy handbook, which is right here. You just click on this, and let's get into combat rules, and let's scroll down. I'm sorry, I know reading is hard, but we need to be able to read something here for a minute. If we look at miasmic shields and fields right here, you'll see that some bosses activate a miasmic field, granting enemies with a massive defense and damage reduction bonuses, as well as increased anti-interruption capabilities. This sounds like it's a problem, but the more you go ahead and you actually read this, when a boss activates a shield, it gains it gains a shield. While the miasmic shield is activated, it cannot be stunned. Agents attack can reduce the miasmic shield with increased effectiveness using dodge counters, defensive assists, and ultimates. So depending on how you play, if you realize that your dodge counters work, your defensive assists work, you utilize them, and you save your ult and utilize your ult.
I low-key wish they would have added EX special as well, considering you get EX special energy once you purify. That shuts down any miasma complaint that there ever will be, 100%. If they would have just added, again, just playing devil's advocate, if they would have just added EX special as well as dodge counters, defensive assist, and ultimates, then you could like expand all your EX specials, shred through that shield, and then get your EX specials back after the purify, and then it wouldn't even be like an issue, right? But yeah, defensive assist, dodge counters, it's just telling you it wants you to play well. It wants you to play well, right? The ultimates, like it's the brain dead way that people are gonna be able to like cleanse it. But the dodge counters and defensive assists, as long as you get these enemy movement patterns down, you are going to perform well, and you're going to be rewarded for making sure you're dodge countering, you're parrying, etc., etc.
That miasmic shield only lasts for about 10 seconds. And you don't need, you know, a rupture agent like some people are saying to go ahead and bypass it. When the miasmic shield is...
I just want to tell you, those words were 100% said. Those words were said that Yishuan is the only character that can clear. Tell me I'm wrong.
Broken, the enemies will take purified damage, and the agent will recover energy and adrenaline, and nearby miasmic fields will also be cleared. Meaning that if you break the shield, and when you do break the shield, because you're utilizing, I would hope, your dodge counters, defensive systems, and ultimates to help you combat this without having the need for a rupture agent, it will take a huge chunk of damage by being purified. And while it's still in the shield, its stun meter is still building up, so it's a good chance that you'll be close to stunning it, or it will be stunned by this time. And then right when it breaks, and after the purified damage happens, you're going to recover energy, or quote unquote adrenaline, that little purple bar meter that's under your health, at max on all three of your characters.
Which is pretty
so then
broken.
At that point in time, while the enemy is in a stun state for a minute because the miasmic shield broke, you can wail on it as long as you want, and you can do extraordinary amounts of damage. Again, tools are provided to help you combat these mechanics, to help you combat against the HP inflation that's in the game. Now, I want to talk more about HP inflation. That's why this video is going to be a little bit longer, because what some people I don't think completely realize and understand about the HP inflation is that while ZZZ has HP inflation, it's not really like your typical games that I've seen with HP inflation, to where every single update the health keeps going up indefinitely until, you know, older characters or old critical node that we have, the current critical node that we're on, and the future critical node that is coming out next. Okay. And I want you to realize something when we look at this.
Oh, the future one's going to be the SAINTONTAS boss, huh? I'm assuming
this was the last critical node. Okay, and I'm just gonna average this out because I've already put the numbers together. But right here on the first side of this critical node of this 7th floor with Brute right here, this together with all enemies is 22 million health on average. And on the second side, we can round this off to being 19 million. Okay, this is where, again, last month we were talking about HP inflation and how bad it is, and how straight up it's so evil. So put that in your thinking caps right here, and let's go on to our next side here, which is Jane Doe. that we got right now, and the ethereals on this side. We don't have no mobs or anything, but we got 18.9 million for Jane Doe, which is
no mobs, just boss.
Less than it was with the Brute. The Brute was at 22 million. And together here, we basically got, I'll even give it to you, we got about 19.5 million health. Basically, the same equivalent as what the twins were in the last node. Okay? I don't see HP inflation. Do you? I mean, if anything, I see that we have a reduction in health because of Jane. But hey, let's go take a look even further. Let's go look at what the next update's going to have. They're going to introduce the Jester.
The SAINTONTAS boss with 17 million, even less than Jane. The dev said, you want to beat up on this guy? Let me drop his HP for you real quick and make it easier.
And look what the Jester's HP is going to be at. 17 million. And on this side, if you put all this together, it's going to be 19 million. And we got different buffs, as you could tell at the top right here.
This goes back to Average Luck Gamer's video when he was saying, he made a really good point of saying that it's like a balancing act. After the decibel changes, they're balancing like HP, right? And now they have to rebalance it again due to Miasma purification buffing the shit out of your team, essentially, right? So it's like it's a constant balancing act, and now I feel like it's just tapering off. I mean, we've kind of seen it with the last few Shiyus. Obviously, if it goes up to 20 million, 25 million, then we can talk about it. But like, as for right now, it's been absolutely fine.
But the thing about it is that while some sides may look tankier, while some sides may look worse, what the HP has been doing in these critical nodes is not indefinitely going up to where it's 5% stronger than last time, 10% stronger than last time. It's not gradually always growing. It's being adjusted.
Yeah. I mean, that's literally
because different enemies have different mechanics. Different enemies have different things about them. And you can tell that with the developers, in particular here with Zenless Zone Zero, that they're doing their best job to balance out each one of these sections for these nodes to make sure that the HP itself is more balanced, not just an infinite amount that is expandingly growing to where your characters can't do anything. And this also applies to Deadly Assault.
At least for right now.
So,
at least for right now, just to play devil's advocate.
I don't understand,
you know? It's fine.
Critically, and first and foremost, where the idea HP inflation is happening, especially here with Shiyu defense and people using the 7 frontier floor here to make remarks about this, when I'm seeing that each one of these has been practically around the same. And here, I don't have to worry about no mobs. I don't have to worry about really no mobs here. I got a few mobs on this side, but I got straight up, I go fight the boss because it's got a Miasma shield. So it's going to adjust for that so I don't have to fight mobs. This side, not so bad either. Like 1 or 2 mobs. This side and this side right here. I mean, where's the HP? Where is the actual HP inflation?
Yeah.
It's there to a certain degree, but I see it more as an
Let's see what else
disadvantage. And then at that point in time, how is that the developer's fault? That would be your fault if you're not utilizing the tools that they tell you. I mean, this would be just as bad if you're playing a game like Weather and Waves and you're going to play Zanny, Phoebe, and Shorekeeper against the Fallacy of the Fallen tactical hologram balls, and you're expecting to do a buku amount of damage. You'll still be able to clear it, but you're not going to clear it as fast as if you would be using.
Nah, you know what example you should have brought up? The Dragon of Dirge one, where it was shield towards Zani. I was clearing that dragon in like 30 seconds. And then after when the Zani buff was gone, like obviously my clears were like over a minute. Like, bro, the middle tower, like I don't know if the last one was, I did clear it, but I don't remember what exactly it was. I'm assuming it would have been something towards Lupa, but I'm telling you, those middle tower buffs are so oppressive sometimes. It's insane. That Zani one was crazy. That shit was crazy, bro. Like, that was insane. And then, like, oh my God. They essentially made it to where it auto gave the enemy Spectral Frazzle. So you don't even need Phoebe. So it made Zani appear way stronger than she actually was. I mean, she's still like insane, but like, and then once you get Phoebe, you're clearing in 30 seconds. Like, that was insane. That was insane. But like, the shield buffs in ZZZ are so much more universal. That being said, I still do enjoy Wuwa, but yeah.
A fusion-based team, if you would be using an aerial-based team, you know, If you're going to fight Spectral against Spectral, you're at resistance. But if I fight
Yeah,
a
I believe
fusion
you get the
against
gist. I want to see his final thoughts.
hell, using Weather and Waves yet again as another example. If you're not a regular player in that game, if you're a brand new player in that game, of course, even in there, you will be hitting walls just like you are in Zenless Zone Zero, because most likely you're lacking some type of knowledge that you need to be able to advance. Hell, take an example with me. When I first started with Zenless Zone Zero back 3 months ago, I couldn't complete the Deadly Assault or Shiyu Defense without an A rank. But until I learned to shut the hell up, learn to read, and listen to people in my chat when we were live streaming and asking questions, and these people, who we call quote-unquote the elitists, were more than helpful and willing to teach.
Yeah, no, he's completely right. Because like I recently experienced this with the Girls Frontline too, right? I recently started the game, and now I'm reaching the point where I can clear that last floor of whatever it's called in that game. Basically the TOA, the MOC, the Shiyu defense of that game, right? And it took me a while to build up my account to where I'm able to actually do that. And you also, there's a boss on the last floor. You have to read those mechanics. If you don't know what you're going against, you're not gonna be able to clear, unless you're just like a gig whale. But like, yeah, definitely use the tools that are given to you, for sure. That's what he's saying here.
Teach me to achieve my goals. Well, look at me now. I have learned a lot to where I don't really talk to the chat much no more about how I should handle Deadly Assault or Shiyu Defense. I don't even ask them much anymore about how to build characters. I build them my way now because I have an understanding. I have learned the game in the last 3 months enough knowledge that I can actually go on my own. Zenless Zone Zero gives you, the player, several different ways of learning. Whether you're going to use the proxy handbook, whether you even come here to the strategy station, where you can...
Fantastic video. I think we've seen enough. I do get it. I completely get it. I remember ALG and Kate both brought this up, how they do account reviews all day and they see these accounts that are just like absolutely like horrid, right? Like people don't know what they're doing. So I mean, that's where a lot of the frustration with not being able to clear is going to come from. So it is what it is. Learn the game, read, learn the game, and you will be able to clear. HP inflation is a thing. It has gone up. I'm not saying it has not gone up, but is it a problem? No. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your experience was in the past Shiyu defense. Did Jane give you trouble, or are some of these people just having a massive skill issue? But I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.